fun things driving engagement as well, not just the hard cutting, here's what is going on, this is what I'm doing, but to really engage with the community that's coming from these groups and that is also looking for inspo at the same time is very, very helpful. And I feel like that's really what Facebook is used for nowadays.
So let's talk about that hard sell versus engagement.
Okay.
Because that looks different.
It does.
I will tell you, part of the reason why I'm not on Facebook is, other than the fake lives, and I'm not downing people who love Facebook. That was just my own personal opinion about Facebook. Here I am in this mansion, whatever, and then the next post will be buy this. These hard sales to, I got a book here, you know, buy my book. And I just felt like, I don't even know you.
Right.
Why should I buy? Why am I connected to you?
Who am I supporting?
Who am I supporting? And so there is a difference between you killing me in my DMs to buy your books, to subscribe to your newsletter, to look at your postings, and you connecting with me on some level of engagement and me being drawn to your product, your book, your, you know, whatever it is that you have out, that you're putting out there, your newsletter. There's a difference. And I will tell you, I just was at an event and I have business cards that have my information on it. She knows that have my information on it, my Twitter and my YouTube channel. And I gave it to someone and they said, how many times am I going to get a notice about your newsletter? Before they even took the business card. And I was like, I don't have a newsletter. Never. It's just, I want you to check out my YouTube channel every now and again. You can subscribe if you like, but here's the information.
Yes.
But she was like, straight up, I'm tired of getting 500 look at my newsletter links and all of that kind of stuff. So I understand that that's in the space. So talk about the difference between hard selling yourself and engagement.
Okay. So the main thing that I really want to drive home when it came down to this is it doesn't take a lot for people to like who you are if you are being genuine. I know so many people who, you know, put products out and have different things that they want to sell, and people will buy them because they like them. It doesn't take a lot. If you are being consistent and genuine on your platform, people will support if they like who you are.
That's so important.
Yes.
I'll make sure that's down the bottom of this in
Takeaways.
writing. Takeaways. I hope you've been taking notes, because that is so good.
Absolutely. And then the second thing is people are getting so saturated with buy this. Give
to this nonprofit. Give to this nonprofit.
Exactly.
Buy this. Support this. Support that. And especially when we get to this age, because this age group has a lot of, I would say, disposable income. But we still know they're going to get things that are entertaining or that make them feel good. And our age group, our generation is really about trying to start to give back.
Right.
In a lot of different ways. So then we get inundated with support this, buy this, and you do want to support, and you do, but the reality is your income is a little more limited. You're trying to put kids through college, you're trying to help parents that might be getting older. You definitely, you know, have to be careful about your budget. I know I do. Well, some of those hard sales can be a big turnoff.
And they can be annoying.
Let's just be real.
In general, they can be really, really annoying. And it's one thing to, you know, provide a brand or something like that for people to support and that they actually like and that they actually enjoy. And then maybe 2 to 3 months later, you say, hey, you know, I've been building this community. Thank you for supporting me. We've been talking about this book and it's finally here. You can get this book here, X, Y, and Z. And that be it, right? You don't have to individually DM people.
Please don't DM. Please don't DM.
Okay, because by the time they've gotten home from work and they're dealing with whatever else they're dealing with, they do not want to see all this stuff. Plus, like I said, they've been oversaturated all day. That by the time they make it to Facebook at 6 p.m., that's not it. That is not it.
That is so
and
good.
If you have been continually building that, people will see that naturally because they're looking for you.
And let's talk about social media does not take away the grind.
Right.
It does not.
It
And I
doesn't.
think sometimes you get that hard sell because people think this is a shortcut to the grind.
No.
So instead of me being out there hustling out my car trunk or hustling at that special festival event or doing speaking engagements or creating content, I could just go on social media and put it out to the masses, and I'm gonna get all these people to support. And you know, the funny thing is, let's talk about something that I just saw on social media. The funny thing is, you will have one or two people that have that kind of experience.
Oh, yeah.
So I just saw last week, no, not even last week, maybe on Monday,
Okay.
a young man made a beat.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know exactly what
He
you're talking
made a
about.
beat. The beat is
Yeah.
sweet. I mean, I listened to the beat about 4 or 5 times. I just kept replaying it because it's so good. It was a beat. He was sitting in his car and he made a beat. And somebody tweeted it out to Meek Mill. And Meek Mill was like, oh, I need this beat. And Meek Mill got somebody else who's in the industry to like the beat. And now the man is supposed to be creating beats and albums with these stars, right? So you'll get one.
But also from that, you didn't see all the practices that he did before he made this beat. You didn't see all the music classes or all the shows that he did to get to this point, because he had to have had some prior experience to just sit in the car and say, okay, I'm here, we doing this. And then for enough Twitter following for that to then get to Meek Mill some way, some shape,
Twitter
some fashion.
following from
Right.
how many times did he put out beats before that beat that just he gave away and nobody retweeted it 500 times? How many times did he did that? So we didn't see the grind.
And that's the
Before
flaw
that point.
of the social media perception. You think that
flaw.
it's quick, and it's really not, because you don't see all the hours that go behind that 1 60-second video.
Yes. And so the great thing about Maya is that she knows my beginnings with YouTube. She knew me when I just had my little Twitter platform. And then working with me in my poetry collection, she knew when I finally said, I think I'm going to start YouTube channel. And she was like, oh, that would be great. And I said, yeah, I think I'm going to just start this way, or I'm going to do some of that stuff. So she has seen some of that progression. And when I first started, I went to her and I said, this is what I'm thinking. I want a 5-year plan. I want to do it. And I've talked about this on my channel before. A 5-year plan where I am just building a platform on YouTube with content that's relevant to writers and readers, BookTube, AuthorTube. And I gave her sort of my whole plan. And when I said 5 years, the first thing she said was, that's a good time frame.
Yes.
That's a good way to look at it. That this is a long-term projection of your social media
Absolutely.
platform branding. And that's what I think people don't get. And that's why you get flooded with the DMs, the hard sales, the get this.
And the monster accounts that you see of these people, like the makeup guru, Jackie Aina, has been on YouTube for over 12 years.
12 years.
So that gives you kind of perspective. And then if there's anybody else that works for a media company, like for instance, Kev on Stage.
Yes.
He's been on YouTube and Periscope for about
20 years. I mean, I remember when he was on YouTube and all he would do was different church scenes. That was like 15 years ago.
But that was like where it all started. And
That's
then you
where
get
it
some
started.
people who work for media companies like All Deaf Digital. And I believe they're actually like closing down. But Kev on Stage then went there, and that helped him even more to get more exposure. So you have people that also get those little platforms that help them as well. So it's really a long game.
It's a long game. Social media is a long game. And if you are hard selling and not looking to engage, it's going to be even longer because you're going to lose more people from your brand, or your brand is going to be perceived sort of as a hustle. Then it is going to be perceived as, hey, I want to really connect with that person because I like that person, or I like, what they're offering me in content, and I want to connect. So it's going to be even longer, because isn't it harder to get a person to come back to you once you lose them? So
because now they're thinking of you as this person, and they're thinking that is your brand. and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yes.
But that's what's going to be tied to that, and you don't want that.
Well, I thought this was fabulous. I hope you took notes. I hope it was great content for you. Please, please, please leave comments. What else do you want to know from Maya? We have her for about 2 or 3 more uploads, sessions, vlogs that she's going to come and give us more information about brand persona, about social media, how to really get your platform built up and created so that you're engaging with your audience. What does your audience look like? Who is your audience? Being able to determine all of those things so that you can really grow and develop your brand. She's going to do all of that with us. And so if you have any questions, you really want to pick her brain, this is your opportunity. Leave those comments down in the comment section. Ask those questions so that we can get them from an expert, someone who has been trained in this field and someone who is on the cutting edge of all of these experiences. Please leave comments and questions down below. But thank you so much for joining Pizzo's Perfection. We'll see you next time. Bye.